and he is running for the United States Senate. And we mentioned infrastructure, we mentioned all of these investments in Indiana. Todd Young is who's on the ballot in November. And let me tell you just a couple things about Todd Young before the mayor comes up. Todd Young was one of the few Republicans who worked on this infrastructure deal. He was at the table, he was negotiating, he was going back and forth, he was trying to be bipartisan, he was talking about all these projects in Indiana. And what happened about 7 to 10 days before the actual vote? I think he got a couple phone calls from you-know-who said, hey, if you vote for this, that's not going to be really good and you might get a primary challenge. That's not what you-know-who wants, the former guy. So what did he do? He negotiated all the way up to the end, and at the very end, he didn't vote for this infrastructure deal. Imagine if all of us here went to our jobs every single day and put in 90 to 95% of the work, but didn't follow through with the job, didn't complete it, didn't complete a road, didn't complete a bridge, didn't complete a house, didn't complete a clean water drinking system for a family. Are you kidding me? That person would be fired. Well, we have somebody up here who's a fighter, somebody who's brash, somebody who's aggressive, somebody who I think fits our politics right now. And he's going to beat Todd Young in November. And that's the mayor of Hammond, Tom McDermott.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. Thanks for everybody for coming out. My name's Tom McDermott. This is the city of Hammond, so welcome to everybody that's here. You know, I've been on a lot of tours lately, and it's nice to be on a tour in my hometown. And I want to recognize Chairman Schmoll, Lauren Giappini, and Drew Anderson, who's in the audience right now, and thank them for lining up hundreds of stops across the state of Indiana, thousands of miles driven. And I remember when Chairman Schmoll took over, he said he wants to go on offense. And I know what you mean now, Chairman. We've been all over the state of Indiana talking about jobs, talking about infrastructure, talking about union issues. Last week we were talking about cannabis. We're not afraid to go anywhere and take our message to the public. So I think that's definitely a refreshing change that I see, and I think it's working when I go around and talk to Democrats across the state. And I tell them the story about our 11 representatives that we sent to Washington, D.C. We sent 2 senators and 9 state reps. And how broken we must be as a country. We sent 11 representatives to Washington, D.C. And what's your main job? Bring some stuff back home so we can rebuild our state, so we can rebuild our schools, so we can rebuild our infrastructure. And when we send 11 representatives to Washington, D.C., and only 2 vote to bring $8 billion home, we're broken, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the message I'm taking on the road is, what the hell are you going there for? What's your purpose in life? To fight with the president? Because it's not making us stronger as a country. It's tearing us apart. We need representatives that are going to go there and bring money home so that we can put you guys to work, not just now, not just next year, for the next decade. That's what we're talking about. You guys got jobs right now. That's great. That infrastructure bill that Todd Young pulled his name off of would have kept you busy for a decade. Thankfully it will, because of the votes of Congressman Frank Mervan and Congressman Andre Carson. Can you give it up for those 2, please? The only 2 federal representatives we send to Washington, D.C. with an ounce of intelligence at all. It's crazy. What are you going there for, Senator Young, if you're voting against money for our schools, money for our bridges, 1,111 bridges that need repair? We don't need that money. Are you crazy? This is the message that I'm taking on the road. Are we that broken? You don't think our schools need money anymore? Well, I have a message. Senator McDermott would never go along with that. Senator McDermott would be working with Congressman Mervan and Congressman Carson to bring money back to Indiana and to bring it back for the men and women that work in our trains across the state. I've proven it too. This isn't theoretical. Since I've been your mayor, I've had contracts with my unions every year. I get pay raises every year. I believe in PLAs. Our Senator Todd Young just sent a letter to the President of the United States saying he's against PLAs. How much more does he have to prove that he doesn't like you? He doesn't like your livelihood. He doesn't fear or respect us. And you know why? Because he's got $5 million in the bank. He thinks because he has $5 million in the bank, he doesn't have to talk to you. He doesn't have to fear you. I got $5 million, screw you, is what he's saying. And it's not right. He doesn't have to do town halls. Why? Because I'm a senator. I don't have to do town halls. I'm a senator. I got $5 million. I don't need to talk to Hoosiers. That's what he thinks. I tell you what, if I'm your senator, I'm going to go to every district. I don't care if it's a Republican district or a Democratic district. I'm going to work hard there. And if I don't win that district in 2022, when I become your senator, I'm going to win it 6 years later because they're going to respect me because I'm not afraid to tell you the truth. God bless you guys. Thank you for what you do. And thank you, Congressman Mervin and Congressman Carson, for having some self-respect and intelligence and bringing money back to Indiana. God bless you.